我们在绘画的时候就会用到，凡是我们绘画的时候，我们都会用到这几种基本的概念，好吧？好，那么什么是透视 perspective？ 我们解释一下啊，就是刚才我们在看我们的 video 的时候呢 ，when we see the video， 我们可以看 we see all this situation， 我们都看到这些情况，对不对？近大远小啊，近大远小这种规律。So what is perspective? It's a concept of observing shapes or to help you drawing them more like it 啊，非常清楚的这个解释啊，这是个观察物体的形状的一个概念啊，所以它可以帮助我们去把所有的这些画的物体的东西啊，对这些东西画的更像它实际的样子，对吧？啊，那么在这个透视里面呢 ，perspective 里面呢 ，there is three or more than three perspective concept is separated 我们有一种或者是多种的这种透视的概念it's very basic 这个是我们刚才讲的这个近大远小、近宽远窄、近实远虚near big far small, wide near and narrow far away, near reality far from unreality 这个就是这个意思这是我们刚才说的这个一些变化大家可以读一下这个英文。所以 first of all we start from one point perspective。我们来讲的话，就是从这个最基本的这个一点透视 one point perspective 开始，我们来讲那么刚才我们大家在 video 里面呢，我们也看了当我们 when we standing in the middle of the road it looks like this， 对不对近，因为我们近的地方，眼前的地方就大，远的地方就窄小近的地方就是大宽实，is big wide wider bigger and really but far from us in the end of the road is smaller narrow and blur 就是虚的这种，它是一个什么样的radial pattern， 就是一个放射状的，是一个放射状的一个形式。放射状这个如果我们用图形来讲的话，就是一个it looks like a triangle right， 这是一个三角形 it's equal size triangle 等边三角形，对不对？因为我们站在这个这个路的中间，我们去看这个事情，看这个路包括这些咱们在刚才在这个video 里面呢，我们都看到了长廊呢也是这样子的好，那么一点透视呢，我们说我们看到路的尽头，当我们在它缩小的再不能小的时候，它变成了一个什么？它变成了一个点，对不对？ A point, a viewpoint. So this point we say it vanishing point， 叫做一个消失点，叫做消失点，因为它最后集合在一起消失了，对不对？它不能再小了，缩的不能再小了，它变成一个点，就我们叫做 vanishing point。这个概念我们非常清楚的记住因为所有跟这个透视相关的这个里面呢，我们都会有这个 vanishing point 这个概念。只是呢，我们有的时候是 one point， 有的是 two point， 有的是 three point， 有的是甚至 four point 都可能有但是 basically we just use one point or two point three point is not is unusual so we focus on the 1 point, 2 point is okay 这就是我们平常最常用的，就是一点透视和两点透视是我们最常用的其他三点透视呢是在一些绘画里面或者是一些广角镜头里面一些特殊的一些部分我们才用，现在我们不涉及到，我们现在只学这个一点透视和两点透视。好 ，Here is the vanishing point。或者我们叫做 viewpoint 但我们记住这个就可以了 vanishing point 这个叫消失点那么这个红线 what is this red line? It's a red line. It looks like our eyes level it looks like a line. You draw a line in front of your eyes. It's parallel with your eyes， 就是我们也可以叫做这个叫什么？所以这个透视我们又叫什么 ？Parallel perspective， 就叫平行透视。为什么？是因为我们的眼睛它的位置决定的啊。So where is your eye level? Where is your 或者叫做 horizontal line 或者叫做就是平行线，就叫做视平线视平线，我们中文讲视平线我们都说的我们就是有一个基本的一个 basic line， 那么这个 line 呢，也就是我们跟我们这个消失点是在一条线上的。为什么？你看到消失点的这个线就正好是跟你的视平线是在一起的，否则你也看不到这个消失点，好吧？那么我们记住这两个概念所以当有了一点透视的时候，就是这种情况，我们正面的 will face this situation， we face this road， 我们正面向这条路然后这条路呢，我们可以想象成像一个窗口一样，是不是？This looks like a window. When we open the window, we look outside. If there is a road just only in front of the window, we can say this. 所以我们这个窗口呢，一定是要正向我们的，一定是要正向我们的所以我们才可以看到it looks like we say some musical or film, we sitting in front of the screen or the stage. 我们坐在正前排，所以我们看的这个位置就是正好的，就像在窗户里面看的一样这个感觉就是also it looks like we watching TV the screen in front of us， 对吧？就是这种感觉所以一定要注意，知道这是一个什么情况下我们看事物的一个方法，这个不要搞错。所以面对我们的呢 is element, it's a face, it's a face， 就是一个面或者是一个 element， 一个元素一个元素这种感觉。那么我们来看一下这张图这张图更清楚一点，更直观一点了So it's easy understanding for us. So here is a vanishing point， 这是一个视点and this line is horizon line， 就是我们的视平线视平线所以在这个观点上，在这个视平线上，我们这个视平线，当我们抬头的时候 when we look up, it follows the eyes, it go up, right? When we lie down your head, it follow eyes and it's down 我们说这个可以是这个视平线是根据我们眼睛的高低去走的这个。所以呢，当我们假设这个视平线是在这个地方的时候，那么这个 vanishing point 呢，就是在这个就是我们正中间的一个点那么其他这些呢物体呢 the other object is also one point perspective. Why? Because there is a side just face us. Okay? It's only a side just face us. It's not this one. This 这条棱不是这条棱冲着我们，是这个面冲着我们，好吧？我讲这些概念大家要听明白我强调的东西is side just face us不是这些边不是这些边缘 not this edge face us, it's just a side face us。 我们就是强调这个面冲着我们，它不管有没有角度，在什么位置上面，它都是一个完整的一个 full side face us， 都是一个完整的面冲着我们的都是一个完整的面冲着我们的所以呢我们可以解释一下我们的视平线 horizon line 或者你叫做 eye level 也可以就是这是一个什么呢？就是你与你眼睛水平线，你可以假想的那个线你跟你眼睛平齐那条假想的线，而视点呢就是什么呢？就是视平线的那个中心就是 horizon line the middle of the horizon line horizon line the middle of the this point 就是这个至中心的一个中心点，也就是你眼睛中心的位置。当你眼睛转换的时候，是你的市中心点转换的时候，你那个 viewpoint 一个 vanishing point 也会跟着转变的而消失点呢，这个 vanishing point 呢就是这个当物体无限延伸的时候，最后你看不见的那个点the last point at which object's edge is extended indefinitely 就是最后消失那个点。在一点透视里面，我们说我们这个 vanishing point 和这个 viewpoint 它是重合的it's together, it makes together 所以呢我们 so we can just say it's a vanishing point is okay 好吧？但是我们要知道，如果知道 viewpoint 视点的时候，我们也知道它是什么东西就可以了好，那这个是我们在我们的房间里面看到的一个场景。我们教室里面 we in our classroom it looks like this所有的 all the windows, doors, ceiling and ground, floor, all of these objects and shape is always go to a vanishing point here. 我们可以想象 we can imagine it 可以想象一下好，我们可以继续来再举个例子比方说在这幅画里面，我们就是要在这幅画里面画一个一点透视的。这幅图是一个 animation 的一个场景，对不对？我们一个 animation 的一个，如果同学们有画 animation 的话when you draw something, when you draw the environment 当画这个环境的时候呢，我们就会遇到这个问题。因为当我们画这个时候呢我们就像从一个窗口里面去看，因为人们只能从你画的这个页面里面去看这个场景，对不对？这就符合了一点透视的那个要求，就是有一个面是正冲着我们的所以在这个所有的动漫的设计里面呢，它基本上都会是这个一点透视为主所以你看所有的物体都会冲着消失到这一个点上去vanishing point is all of these objects lines. Let's go to this vanishing point. It's obey the perspective rule 就是遵循了这个透视的这个规律那我们看一个照片，在我们这个一个办公室里面也是这样子，对吧？我们可以找到我们消失点在哪。我们看一下，我们可以自己想看一下我们消失点在哪我们视频线在哪里？大家自己先看一下视频线哪里。可以在我们的屏幕 we can draw the line, draw the eye level or the horizon line in the screen. We can try because we can't we have the online classes, we can't see each other, so we just try it 那么老师可以给你们画一下。那我觉得我的视频线就是在这儿。Here is horizon line. Here's my horizon line. It's like you 然后呢，我们的vanishing here I think here is the vanishing point or far or can go through this plant you can see it far away from here like this here is okay 所以所有的物体你看都是朝着这个方向，是不是？我们能隐约的看到we can imagine find the vanishing point 我们可以找到这个消失点还包括一些建筑效果室内效果图以后如果 if you want to be an interior designer we are going to learn this, we are going to draw this plan 我们画这种图纸就是这样子的都是这样子的或者像这个动漫里面的设计景象都是一样的这个就更夸张一点了看更夸张一点了，最近的地方特别的大，对吧？对比相当强烈，那么这个就把这个纵深感就表现出来了It's like very special sense 这个是非常特殊的一个场景像这些都是包括火车园区的这个场景，对吧？我们都是这样子去表现的都是这样去表现的。 这个是我们的一个教室的场景啊，也是这样的啊，所有的 vanishing point here we draw this line, this horizontal line, and then we find the vanishing point and make all of the windows, all the other objects, let's go to the vanishing point here 啊，所以这个我们在这个场景里面，在这张图里面，我们看的就是一个非常真实的一个场景啊，就达到了我们就还原我们这个外在生活这个场景的这么一个目的啊，对吧 ？We have to know what is our purpose. We're going to draw a real world, right? So we need to obey the perspective concept to draw everything 啊。好，那么这个呢，就是我们现在讲的这个一个概念啊，一个概念的这个一点透视。我们今天说的是 one point perspective 的这个概念的一个基本情况啊。好，那么接下来呢，我们去好，接下来呢，为了方便大家更好的去理解我们这个一点透视啊，老师再给你们看一个真正的一个绘画的一些绘画的一些作品，一点透视的一个绘画作品，也就是we can say how to use the one point perspective in our drawing works。就我们画的时候，画作品的时候，什么情况底下how to draw a one point perspective。
How to draw a room in one-point perspective for beginners. In one-point perspective, two parallel lines which are going towards the vanishing point will look like if they continued they'd actually meet exactly at the vanishing point, and the vanishing point is always on the horizon line. The first step is to draw a horizontal line slightly above the middle of your page. Next, draw a cross at the centre of this line. This cross is the vanishing point, and the line is the horizon line. The vanishing point must be on this horizontal line, and as the drawing is in one-point perspective, we need just the one vanishing point, which is our cross. Now we can draw a rectangle for the back wall of our room. Draw the rectangle in the centre of your page with the horizon line going through it, and the vanishing point in its centre. Next, to draw the sides of the walls of our room, all we need to do is draw 4 lines from the vanishing point. Now, each line needs to go past one of the corners of our rectangle, which is the back wall of our room. You could use a ruler for these straight lines if you wish. So now, it's a bit like looking into a box. Next, we can draw a line from the vanishing point to the left side of the paper. This new line, going towards the left, will help us find the top of a door. Now we can draw 2 vertical lines from this new diagonal line, and now we have a door in one-point perspective. Next, we can draw 2 more lines from the vanishing point coming towards us. These will help us find the side of a table. Now, we just need to draw 2 horizontal lines, parallel to the other horizontal lines in the drawing, to make the top of a table in one-point perspective. Next, we can draw the 2 table legs at the front of the table first. Just 2 straight vertical lines of equal length. Now we can add 2 more vertical lines from the back corners of the table for the 2 back legs. So now we've got a table with 4 legs. We can now erase some of the dark lines that we no longer need in this drawing and add some details to the table. We can draw a second horizontal line at the front edge to give the tabletop a thickness. We can double up the vertical lines at the front table legs, to make them look more solid. As the vanishing point is in the middle of the table's in the middle of the vanishing point, we'll be able to see the side of the left table leg and the side of the right table leg, and the bottom of each of the table legs. The bottom side of each of the table legs will go as a diagonal line all the way to our vanishing point. We can repeat this process for the back legs of the table. Again, the base of the legs will go towards our vanishing point, and this baseline, this diagonal line going to the vanishing point, will also go forward towards the front table legs too, so it'll be one line. Now we have a room, a door, and a table in one-point perspective. Next, we can add some evenly spaced marks at the base of the back of the wall, at this rectangle at the back of the drawing. And then we need a series of lines which start from the vanishing point and go past each of these spaced marks. And we can draw them coming towards us, and these will be floorboards. Now we can draw 2 more lines from our vanishing point going towards the right side of the paper. These will show us the top and the bottom lines of a window in perspective, in one-point perspective. Next, we just need to draw 2 vertical lines between these 2 diagonal lines. but the side thickness of the wall of the room, these two short horizontal lines will just be horizontal. They won't be in perspective because we're looking straight at them, in the same way that we're looking straight at the back of the room, which just stays as a rectangle. The only lines which are distorted are the lines that are going away from us. Next, we could add a door handle to the door. It is now time to erase some of the lines that we no longer need on the back wall of our room. We could add a big window on the wall. We just need to draw a rectangle for this, but we can use the vanishing point again, as our window that I've drawn is in the centre and the vanishing point's in the middle of the window more or less. So we can draw lines to work out the thickness at the corners of the window, the thickness of the wall of the room. So again, it's the same process that we used for the drawing at the beginning, the basic shape of the room at the beginning. We just need to draw a diagonal line from each of the corners of the rectangle, and then we need to draw another rectangle within that, and that will create the thickness of the wall. Next, we could add a straight vertical line from the ceiling, a short straight vertical line from the ceiling, and then draw a light shade and a light bulb. The base of the light shade will just be a small ellipse, a squashed circle, a circle seen in perspective, and then just put two lines to make it a triangle at the top, and a little semicircle inside it to make it a simple light. For the next steps, I'll add some more details to this drawing, and then I'll add some simple shadows too. Horizontal line, and then draw a dot in the middle of this horizontal line. Next, draw two diagonal lines that meet at this dot or vanishing point. To make this into a railway track, draw a series of horizontal lines that get closer together as they go towards the vanishing point. Now draw two more diagonal lines from the vanishing point. This will be a road that is parallel to the railway track that we've just drawn. Next, we could draw another diagonal line just to the left of these two. Now on this new diagonal line, we need to draw a short vertical line which will be the near corner of a house that we can draw. Then from the top of this upright vertical line, we draw another diagonal line. Next, you could draw a triangle for the side of the roof, and then a square below this for the side of the house. From the top of the triangle of the roof, we could draw another diagonal that goes towards the vanishing point, and this will be the top of the roof. And then to cut it short so it doesn't go on forever to the vanishing point, we need to copy the side of the triangle on the right and copy that angle for the back of the house, and then we'll get a roof that will work in one-point perspective. Now to this house you could add a door and some windows maybe, and so the uprights of the door will be vertical and the uprights of the window will be vertical, and the diagonals will follow the diagonals that we've already got, again going towards this one vanishing point. For one-point perspective you need one vanishing point, and all of the parallel lines need to go towards that one vanishing point. So now we have a horizon with a railway track going to the vanishing point, and then a road on the left also going towards the vanishing point, and a house in one-point perspective as well, just a simple house. Now on the right hand side we've got some space, so I'll do two more diagonal lines going towards the vanishing point, and then the third one as well, and then on this third diagonal line on the right I'll put some upright verticals, and I might make these into lampposts or maybe trees. I'll make them into trees, and to do that we just need to find the top of one of the trees, the top of one of these vertical lines, and then to draw a line from this top base all the way to the vanishing point. And then just to make it easy for myself, I'll make all the trees the same height, but they're going away into perspective into the distance. So I'll just need one diagonal line to cut them all off at the same height. And so the trees that we draw, they can be just very simple trees like a cypress tree or a poplar tree, and just keep them very, very simple so that they're really repeating the shapes, and therefore you'll get more of a hang of how one-point perspective works by not overcomplicating things too much. So they're going to get smaller as they go away, because that's what perspective does. They're always going to go away towards the vanishing point, because that's where we're looking as the viewer to the drawing. We're looking towards the vanishing point, and all of the parallel lines which are in the environment that we're drawing are also going towards the vanishing point. So that makes it a very clear image to draw. Now for the railway track, we probably need to put in a bit more detail so that we can actually get the bars of metal going away into the distance, and then the wooden sleepers, or the sleepers of the railway track, being sort of brick-like shapes, wooden planks, which go away into the distance. And as they go away into distance, they get smaller. And also, if you're using, like I am, a 4B pencil or a soft pencil, you could just press with the pencil slightly less as you go towards the vanishing point, and therefore the lines will be slightly darker in the foreground, and then by the midground and the background, the lines will be slightly paler, and that will help gain that sense of perspective as well as just using one-point perspective. If you change the tone of the lines that you're using as well, it's just quite useful sometimes. So we could also think about maybe adding some tone to this drawing, some light and dark. So maybe if I was to do that, I might put the light source on the right-hand side and have some shadows going off towards the left. But maybe before we do that, it's a bit empty on the left-hand side around the house. So we could put some other things. So what we could do next, perhaps, add a few more trees. Maybe we could put a little bush in here as well. Let's put a fence around this. And the fence, again, the top of the line of the fence and the bottom of the line of the fence will be going towards the vanishing point, unless it's horizontal, and then it will just be going straight, like the line of the horizon is straight. The horizontal line doesn't need to be a straight line like it's a desert or a diagram. Often the horizontal line, which is the height of the eye of the viewer of the image, that height is often obscured by hills or buildings or other things. So in this drawing, we could just make a range of hills which are very far in the distance. With these two parallel lines on the right, rather than make them into a road, I think I'll make them into a little river. And I just need to have two curves that continually wind away towards the vanishing point that don't sort of stretch out either left or right of these two diagonal lines. And that will more or less get you a river which is a bit straight but is also wavy. And then maybe I could put some reflections of the trees in the river, something like that. So I think with this avenue of trees, I could put a little path to the right-hand side as well that goes behind the trees, and that will make the trees come forward because they've got something behind them, so therefore they're going to stand in front of the thing that's behind them. One-point perspective is a very useful technique or device to use in a drawing to create some sense of a three-dimensional quality. Now, I would say that the actual reality of the world is quite complex, and one-point perspective makes things quite simple, but it also makes them quite readable as a three-dimensional quality on the two-dimensional surface of the paper. So it's a useful thing to be able to do, but it does have its limitations as well. But I hope that you enjoy the rest of this video,